Good morning. I'm Chaplain John Rollison with the Homesteader Reserve-Based Chapel. And thank you so much for joining us for our Christian devotional study on Lent from Crew Ministry. And today we're at day 8. Today's lesson begins with a reading from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 15. And it's a story that runs from verses 11 through 32. But to begin with, we're only going to read part of verse 11. There was once a man who had 2 sons. Now, many of us in our Christian life will find times where we run into discouragement or we'll get frustrated about something, or maybe even get into a rut and feel like we're just kind of plateaued and not making any progress. And many times, if we find ourselves in that situation, a study or a reading, rather, of Luke 15 can help us out. And the story goes like this, and this is our devotional reading from Crew Ministry. A wealthy father has 2 sons, and one asks for his inheritance early. The son, the younger, parties his fortune away, while the other son stays at the family farm, working hard to build the estate. I get that life, the life of a dutiful child, and maybe many of us do, a life of responsibility, we might say. Then the younger son returns completely broke, willing to take the place of a servant, and instead he's welcomed back as a cherished son, which is what he was. The older brother, the responsible one, now shows his resentment. He never felt celebrated, and now he's angry. He did what he was supposed to do, and yet he doesn't feel like anybody even noticed. He was there the whole time, working extremely hard, being really good, but he missed out on life, the life that his younger brother experienced. And the father finds his older son outside the house and pleads with him, and he says to him, "Everything that I have is yours. You were always with me." And he adds, pleading for the deeper understanding. He wanted his son to understand. Now, many times we might be left wondering about this older brother. Did he ever get it? Did he ever understand? Is he ever able to receive what his father wanted to give him, an invitation into his presence and into his wealth? We are all left wondering how he would respond. Now, regardless of who you might identify with in that story that Jesus told, this invitation is extended to all of us as well. If you relate to the younger son, you'll come home and embrace the father waiting for you. Or will you remain far from the family, hoping to work something out on your own? If you, like me and many others, can relate to the older brother, will you remain in the darkness, lost outside the celebration, resentful because you worked so hard for so long to earn something that was free all along? Or will you join in the party, accepting God's free and complete favor extended to you through his son, Jesus? Well, I pray this brought you hope and encouragement today. And I think if you find yourself relating to one of those 2 young men, that you would realize that for both of them, as well as for all of us, that the invitation to be a part of God's family is always open. We just need to put our faith in him. Until tomorrow, I'm Chaplain John Rollison with the Homesteader Reserve-Based Chapel.